Hello, I'm Sean here. I'm going to show you a step-by-step tutorial of how to use Dropbox to do your scheduling. And so the first step we're going to do is download Dropbox. And I'm going to assume that most of us have already done this, but just for the sake of completion, I'm going to do it anyway. So first thing we want to do is open our internet browser, and on a Mac it's Safari, and it's this icon here. So I'm going to click this and open up my Safari window, and then here we're just going to go to Dropbox.com. And as you can see, I'm already signed in on my existing Dropbox account, so I'm just going to log out. And this is what you'll see if you're not if you don't already have Dropbox on your computer. So I just want to click download Dropbox, and as you can see, our download window pops up and the latest version of Dropbox is coming through the pipe. It's the version that is the latest is 1.0.10, and there's some neat features on it that we might want everyone to be running this version, but we'll get to that when we get to it. And so after it's downloaded, this window pops up because it automatically mounts this installer. It's a disk image, you can tell by the way it looks. And so this is what's inside, and it basically tells you to install this. Drag this icon over to your applications folder. If you hold it too long, it opens the applications folder, which is fine. We'll just go back and we'll just leave it on top, and then it says, well, we already have Dropbox. Yes, we want the newer version, so we're going to replace this one. So it copies. We can now close this and close this and close this, and so now we have Dropbox installed, but we have to run it for the first time. So to run an application, we want to go to our applications folder, and there's lots of ways we can do that. The first way is opening Finder by clicking up here, or in your case is down here. It's this icon anyway. And so we can see this Dropbox installer. We can now eject it because we're done with it. And so we want to go to applications. And Dropbox is sitting right there. We run it and it says, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. And the first time you run it, it'll set itself up. And so since I've already previously installed Dropbox, all it needs is my password. So I'm going to type that in, because it's still working with the old Dropbox preference files. So as you can see up in the top menu bar here, there's our Dropbox icon. It was trying to sync. We'll go to our preferences. So to go to our Dropbox preferences, we just click on the icon, go down to preferences, and we just need to check which account we're on. So yeah, that looks good. Bandwidth looks good. We're not using a proxy. Okay. So Dropbox is just trying to sync now. All the files it's going through, making sure which are synced up and which aren't. So as it syncs, it goes through, and we can see, if I switch to thumbnail view by clicking this here, you can see everything that has been successfully synced will show up with a check mark. and we just have to wait for Dropbox to do its thing. So I'm gonna let this sit for a while, and then we'll come back once I have my Dropbox fully synced, and we will have a green check mark up in our Dropbox icon. Now we're all synced up again. Everything has a green check mark. That means everything that's in there is on the server and on your computers that have Dropbox. So we're good to go. Okay, so we have Dropbox. Now, to use the Dropbox scheduling, it's very simple. You just need to navigate to your Dropbox folder. It's just like any other folder on your computer. But let's start from scratch so you don't have any windows open. We want to click the Finder icon to open a new Finder window. And so it'll start out with, usually, in your home folder. And you can tell it's your home folder because it has a little house icon. So let's say it doesn't start. Let's say it starts somewhere totally weird. We don't know what's going on. Okay, well, there's always going to be an icon here with the little home. We click on it, that takes us to our home folder. And then in here we can see there's a Dropbox folder. So you click that, that takes you to your Dropbox. And we'll just switch views so it's easier to read. And so the folder we need is the room and equipment booking folder. So what we can do is click, and then inside our room and equipment booking folder there's one file, January 2011 booking. And so on your guys' computer, you just want to double click it. On your guys' computers it's gonna open in Adobe, and we don't want that. So to get around that, what we do is a right click, and you go to open with, and then yours will be set to Adobe as default. Under here you'll select preview. So instead of here, it'll be down here somewhere. Now if you always want it to open in preview, which we do, there's a way to do that. Again, we're going to right click, and this time we're going to go down to get info. It's kind of like on Windows, the properties. So we go to get info, and here under get info there's all sorts of panes that you can open and close by clicking these triangles here. And so we can see open with is currently set to preview, but you can set that to all the different types of applications. Yours will say Adobe there. And what we want is preview. So we set it to preview. We can close that now. And now it will open in preview. So to view the changes, we just double click it and it opens in preview. And so this is the first thing you'll see. And we click a day, see the bookings, and to change, to add a booking, you just click on a square, double click in if you want to highlight the dots and get rid of them as you type. And so you just type in your name and your class, and we go to, and then when we're done, we click off, anywhere off, not another square, anywhere along the border basically. And we go File, Save As. Don't change anything, just click Save, and it asks you, are you sure you want to replace it? Yes, I'm sure. So click Replace. It saves. We check our Dropbox icon, it's uploading. And as soon as that switches back to a green check mark, we know our changes have been saved and uploaded to the servers. And now everyone has those changes. So we close that, and we're done. And it's basically that simple. It's a file on your desktop. Sorry about that. It's a file on your desktop that you edit just like any other file. The only thing is this file on your desktop gets shared to everyone else automatically. And so to make this process a little bit easier, what we can do is we can go back to our Dropbox folder. So we go home, close these up, Dropbox, and so what we can do is we can create a link. In Windows speak, it's called a shortcut. And so what we can do is create an alias. It's the same thing as a shortcut, only on the Mac. So we make the alias, and that's okay. It'll kind of sync it because it's a file. It's just a really small file. And then what we want to do is move it from that folder onto our desktop. So that will remove it from our Dropbox because we don't want aliases in there. We want it on our desktop. And so that booking thing now is shortcut on your desktop. So when you click it, it opens up the real document, and you can do your thing again. And you can see my change was saved. I'm not going to make any changes. I'm just going to close it and quit preview. But now you have an easy way. You don't have to open up any folders or files. You just click it. It opens. Make your changes. And remember, and we'll go through one more time. I'll make another change here. So double click, Cullen test 2. Click anywhere else so it's not white anymore. Then we go File, Save As. Don't change anything. Click Save and Replace. Look at our Dropbox, verify it's uploading. And we're good. And so we want to close it and quit. And so the biggest thing to remember is you want to make your changes, save it as quickly as possible, because there's a possibility that someone else could be making changes at the same time. And what you want to avoid is making a bunch of changes and then saving it at the very end, because basically every change you make you should do a save, because you want to make sure that that version is uploaded, so then if someone else tries to edit, at least that booking will be there. The other thing to keep in mind is you want to make sure you're connected to the internet. If you make a bunch of changes and you're not connected to the internet, what will happen is those changes will sit in on your computer until it connects. And in the meantime, a lot of people could be changing, could be doing things at booking, and then as soon as you connect to the internet, your old version of the file will be uploaded, and it will wipe out what everyone else has done. So you want to make sure you're connected to the internet. You want to make sure you save after every change you make. And the other thing too is, if you get a little message that pops up in this corner, the top right corner, a little black window that says this file has been recently updated, what you want to do is close out your preview, reopen it, reopen the document, and make your changes again, and then save. Because when you see that little window, it means someone else has made a change, and you don't want to step on what they've done. Okay? And so that's basically all there is to it. If you have any questions, remember just to email me at SCULLEN at, well, you know my email. Okay? So thank you for watching. I hope this helps, and have a great day.